Today we are going to go over some organizational shortcuts, so let's get right into it. The first thing you can do to be kind of more organized is to color code your clips. So I have set up number 4 as orange, number 5 as pink, and number 6 as green. And you can kind of give this whatever meaning you want, just to stay a little bit more organized. Usually I like to put oranges as all of my effects, pinks as all of my titles and everything to do with text, and greens as my B-roll. And the cool thing you can do once you color-coded all of your clips is to select everything in that color. And that's what shortcuts 7, 8, and 9 are for. 7 will select everything that's orange, 8 will select everything that's pink, and 9 will select everything that's green. And if you want to get rid of the color on your current selected clip, then simply hit 0 and this will nullify it. Okay, so that is some of the basic management that we can do here, but some of the more advanced stuff is flags and markers. The difference between flags and markers is that if you flag something, you are flagging the entire clip. And if you're marking something, you're only marking it on that specific time frame. Set it up so that if you select a clip and hit N, it will flag that clip. And you can see that it flagged all of the clips around it. But when we zoom out a little bit more, it only did these few. That's because all of these clips come from one source clip. Your source clip is basically the clip that you have over here in the media pool. And you can see that this clip right here is flagged. That means every single kind of bit that you have on your timeline from that clip is also gonna be flagged. For example, when shooting B-roll on a set, you wanna mark that this is from this camera and this is from this camera. You can use flags for that. Also, you can simply change the color of your flag by simply double clicking on it, and you can even give it a note. Okay, so now we can talk about markers, and you can simply hit M to create a marker. By default, if you don't have any clip selected, it will just make it on the timeline itself. But if you have a clip selected, then it will bind it to that clip, and it will do it to the audio as well as the video. But if you only want it to one of these, you can hold down Option and click on either the audio or video, and it will only select one of those. Most of the time you're going to have your video and audio linked because they come from one clip, one source file again. But there are situations when you want to unlink them, and you can do this by selecting them and hitting this little icon right here, or hitting B in my shortcuts. So once we added a marker, you can still jump between them by pressing Shift and the up and down arrows to move between markers. Then you can also edit a marker by simply double clicking on it or doing Shift M, which will do the same thing for you. If you want to add a marker and right away edit it, that means give it a custom color or a custom name or whatever, then you can hit Command and M. And this will create a marker and give you the opportunity to edit it as well at the same time. And last but not least, if you want to get rid of a marker, you can simply hit Option and M, and this will delete the marker you're currently on. And if you want to delete all of the markers on your timeline, you can just right click on any marker on your timeline and click Remove All Markers. This will get rid of everything on the kind of layer your markers are currently positioned on. That means if you select a marker that's only on your timeline, it will only delete all of the markers on your timeline. But if you select a marker that's in your clip, it will delete all of those markers in that specific clip. Also, you might have noticed that when you're adding a marker, there's a little statement here that says name. You can name it whatever you want and press done. And now when you come up here into the index and open it up, you can see all of your markers. And this is why I added a name, because it's then easier to find. It will also show the color of the marker and just keep you organized in your markers. I probably said markers like 50 times by now. Okay, so that's gonna be everything for today. As always, the whole shortcuts pack is down in the description, and I will see you in the next one.